Hello students, am I audible to you? If there are if there is any kind of a sound problem or a visual problem, please let me know before we begin our today's session. Today's class, this will be roughly around 30 minutes. I have already given you the test paper. Uh, if you do not have the test paper, kindly follow the Telegram channel. On that, I have already uploaded. The test was conducted yesterday at 7 o'clock in the morning. I have also uploaded a video on that. And the please follow the deadlines that has been given to you, because we need to make sure that we are writing the right questions in the given right frame of time, because many times we might know what needs to be written, many times we know what not to write, but at the same time we tend to fail when it comes to time management. So anyways, the time is up. Let's try to begin. What were the 5 questions that we are having? Now here, when I have already given you uh, the 3 formats that you need to keep in mind whenever you are writing your answers, the first thing that comes is, how are you going to divide your answer into 3 parts? And as you see, this question differentiate between mechanical and organic solidarity as given by Emile Durkheim. So verily this question has been taken from your unit 4, and that too the part B that we are having, that is Emile Durkheim. We must differentiate what is the difference between mechanical and organic forms of solidarity. If you look at this question, you must keep in mind that what exactly are we supposed to write when it comes to the introductory part. Uh, First comes first. In your introduction, what you have to speak about is who is exactly Emile Durkheim and what is he trying to convey. So in the introductory part, you are going to say that this concept of Emile Durkheim, this has been basically given in his book, The Division of Labor, or the way how the work has been divided. So you must mention the book that this concept has been mentioned in his book Division of Labor, which he has written in the later part of his life in 1912. If you look at the early works of Emile Durkheim, such as what is the concept that has been given of suicide, what is the concept of religion that has been mentioned. So when we take a look at this division of labor, this is one of the most earliest form of contribution that has been inspired from Karl Marx. So in your introductory part, you need to say that Durkheim has taken this phenomena, division of labor, as an inspiration from Karl Marx, because he was the person who was trying to tell the work has been divided on economic terms. But Durkheim doesn't believe in this. And coming to, we need to talk about the differentiation between mechanical and organic solidarity. What you have to do in your content, you must always establish a form of a tabular method. Why? At one end, you will be speaking about what is the meaning of the word mechanical solidarity. On the another hand, you need to write down the formation of organic solidarities. These are basically the main primary difference that we are having is both of these societies are going to have solidarities, but the type of solidarity is going to differ, because here there is something known as solidarity of similarity. It means the people are going to be very much similar to each other, like how they are similar when it comes to rural societies. On the other hand, organic solidarities are those societies in which they are similar to each other. So there will be a solidarity of, but the people will not be similar to each other, but rather they are going to be different. So we represent this as solidarity of interdependent. And whenever you look at the modern societies, more and more number of people are interdependent on each other. Like you are dependent on somebody to cook the food for you, to get you a Hindu newspaper, for you to get treated, between the relationship between a doctor and a patient, a teacher and a student, advocate and the client. So this society is on the basis of interdependence, opposite of traditional, let me write that as modern societies. These are on the basis of urban societies. This is also one primary difference that we are having. Any other difference, when we take a look, the collective consciousness which is present, the collective conscience, the collective unity, it is going to be maximum over here. On the other hand, the collective conscience, the unity, it is going to be minimum among these societies. And when we further go ahead, we are going to notice that these are those societies where the laws are always going to be highly repressive. So here the laws will be present in a repressive format. It means, what is the meaning of repressive? The punishments are going to be much bigger than the crime that has been committed. For example, somebody gets married to a person who is outside their tribal clan, who is outside of their own they are outside of their own what do we call that, their clan, their tribe, their caste. So laws are considered to be highly repressive. These laws are largely considered to be as restitutive. So repressive laws are present, restitutive laws are going to be seen. And if we further go ahead, if we analyze, the bonds are also going to be much more stronger when it comes to mechanical societies. The bonds are much more weaker when it comes to organic societies. The division, one last division that I want to highlight here, there is a simple division of labor that has been present. And these societies are going to have a very complex, a very complicated, intense division of labor that is going to be established. And then when it comes to conclusion, Durkheim wanted to establish, he wanted to explain that mechanical and organic societies are providing a valuable framework in understanding different types of societies. On the basis of unity, on the basis of specialization, societies are interchanging. So here we get to see, with this theory, Durkheim was able to explain old and traditional societies. He is also able to explain the phenomena of new and modern societies. At one end, he has explained the concept of rural or tribal societies. He has able to explain the modern cosmopolitan societies. So with this theory, Durkheim was able to explain the whole width and the breadth of the two types of societies which are being present. One type of societies which is old and rural, these societies are largely considered to be called as mechanical societies. So let me just write down. These set of societies are largely considered to be as mechanical forms of societies. These type of societies are considered to be as organic societies. So let me read the question once again. Differentiate between mechanical and organic solidarities. And what is the primary difference? If you take a look in the introductory part, you are going to say this has been inspired from Karl Marx theory. He has written a book, Division of Labor. He has also provided the content, mechanical and organic forms of societies, and then he has also provided a conclusion as well. Now take a look. In this way, you are going to divide. So this is going to be a paragraph of around 20 to 25 words. this is going to be around 3 paras, or at least 5 points that you are going to find in the tabular column. And lastly, in 4 to 5 lines, you are going to be writing the conclusion. So this is your question number 1. So moving to the next question. Critically examine Weber's thesis. Critically examine Weber's thesis on the Protestant ethic and the spirit of capitalism. So this is one of the most popular questions that we are having. And if we take a look, this question has been taken from Unit 4, Part C. And this is also one of the most popular question, most asked question, because Weber is popularly known as a sociologist who has gone against the famous Marxian and Smithian way of looking at the society, because he was trying to tell that the capitalism, it's an economic system, and that has largely been influenced by the essence of religion. So let me just highlight, this question has been taken from Unit 4, and in the Unit 4 you are having the third thinker. That third thinker is nothing but he's called as Max Weber. So what you will be writing in your introductory part, you are going to explain that Weber is the most popular sociologist. He is considered to be as a phenomenologist. He was the person who is associated with the concept known as causal pluralism, because he was trying to highlight we must understand the individual micro phenomena. He is called as a phenomenologist. Then he also criticizes Karl Marx, who always gives a unifactorial theory. This person, Max Weber, has given a multifactorial theory. So a person who is telling multiple factors are responsible, in a way he is telling plural factors are responsible, and this is called to be as causal pluralism. So in the introductory part, you are going to explain that the concept of economic system is not changing on the basis of only economic system. Even the religion can be considered as a responsible factor in changing the economic system. And what is the meaning of changing the economic system? It is a new type of economic system that has come. This is called to be as capitalism. And what is the religion that is responsible? It is the religion of Calvinism. And what is Calvinism? It is one of the sects that we are having in the Protestant religion. So in a way, Weber was trying to tell the Protestants are responsible for the establishment of capitalism. This is going to be your introduction. Now, when we go further ahead, what we realize is that this guy, Weber, is trying to explain that the phenomena of Weber's capitalism. He was trying to explain uh, one main important aspect, that even the superstructure can be considered as a responsible factor in the establishment of infrastructure. Karl Marx has given a very popular line. Karl Marx was telling that whenever we look at the infrastructure, only an infrastructure can be altered by infrastructure itself. But Weber was trying to make up a point over here that no, even a superstructure can be considered as a responsible factor in changing the dynamics. So first we look at the introduction. When we look at the content, Weber was trying to speak multiple different points, in which all these points are trying to examine that how the changes are being brought. And to explain this content, he begins, there are three important concepts that Weber has been associated. He is popular in bringing the aspects of Verstehen methodology, that how we can have an interpretational understanding. He is also popular in giving the phenomena of ideal types, that what is the ideal type. If we are creating two separate ideal types of Protestant ethics and the spirit of capitalism, these two ideal parts, these two ideal types are very much interconnected. They are overlapping with one another. On the another, when we take a look at the phenomena of causal pluralism, how the aspects can be established. Now one specific ethic Weber is going to hold, and then he will say that they are responsible for the establishment of capitalism. For example, he has given a popular ethic which is called to be as the concept of calling. That what if you believe in this ethic, concept of calling, you are going to try again and again until you become successful. So new kinds of startups have started to establish. Another ethic that the Protestant people believed was abstain of alcoholism, that they stopped consuming alcohol. So due to this stop consuming of alcohol, the productivity among the people of the Protestant Germans, they have started to increase, and then they wanted to have a minimal lifestyle. So this phenomena was called to be as this worldly asceticism. So you are supposed to have a sadhu kind of a lifestyle. You're not supposed to spend. You must have a frugal cultural outlook. So due to this worldly asceticism, they have started to do more amount of saving, and due to more savings, they were able to do reinvestment. So here their rate of savings have started to increase. So here, when we take a look at the content, you must make sure the word that you are getting over here is critically examined. So you are supposed to criticize this theory by in the form of the Marxist perspective. Marxism was trying to highlight that no, it is not the superstructure which will influence. In fact, the infrastructure wanted a new religion which can support their ideas. So Marxist view was trying to tell, Weber is trying to show an opposite relationship. In fact, the capitalism came first, and when the capitalism got established, they wanted to take the help of religion. So instead of looking at the arrow in this format, instead of looking at the arrow in a format where the religion is going towards, where the religion is going from phenomena of economic perspective, and it goes opposite manner. In fact, economy phenomena will go towards the concept of religious perspective. So this is the relationship that has been established. Another popular criticism has been given by R.H. Downey. He was trying to tell, look at this aspect where Weber did not have a proper historical method of studying the society. All the countries which have seen capitalism, they were not Protestant country. In fact, they were Catholic country. So there is no such relation. This relation is absurd. It is irrelevant. Another criticism that has been given by Immanuel Wallerstein, who says that the concept of capitalism, it is actually a product of colonialism. Because of colonialism, capitalism grew. So Wallerstein was trying to present the phenomena of world system theory, and he is criticized in such a manner. So what you are going to speak in the conclusion, you will highlight some Marxist, Townies and Wallerstein, and then you are going to tell that Weber has provided a very beautiful classification, and due to this classification we are able to understand the phenomena of capitalism in a very unique manner. Nobody before Weber has shown this very unique relationship of capitalism with the concept of religion. So this relationship is also indispensable in understanding the society in a broad and that too in a pragmatic manner. So your answer is going to be divided into three parts. Introduction, you are going to write in 3 to 4 lines. Your content is going to highlight the three important phenomena that Max Weber has discussed: Verstehen, ideal type, and causal pluralism. and we have highlighted one, two, three. You can highlight more number of factors. In your model answers, I have provided different other factors, how they are interrelated to the phenomena of more capitalism and more profit, such as better savings, more productivity, entrepreneur culture, etc. And then in the conclusion, you are going to write in the aspect of two paragraphs. What are these two paragraphs? One paragraph will go towards the criticism. Why? Because if you take a look over here, we are having the term critically examine, and then you are going to highlight in the last paragraph that Weber has provided an indispensable outlook, a very important way of looking at the phenomena of societies. So here you are having the critical examination of an important theory, and that is Protestant ethic and the spirit of capitalism. So this is the question number two that we are having. Let's go to the next question. Critically, let's go to the next question. Discuss Karl Marx theory of historical materialism. How does it explain social changes? So this particular question has been taken from Unit 4A, Marxian theory of historical materialism and how it explains changes. Coming to the first part of introduction, that discuss Karl Marx theory of historical materialism. How does it explain social changes? If you want to begin this particular question, the introduction is must be a very straightforward. That what is historical materialism? It is nothing but a phenomena of a foundational theory that has been present by Karl Marx. Why do we call this as a foundational theory? Because Karl Marx he pioneers this concept of uh, communism. He pioneers this concept of socialism, of dividing the societies into two parts, haves and have-nots. It all begins from this concept of historical materialism. So you are going to provide an explanation. The foundational theory of Karl Marx has begun from historical materialism, etc. And how does it explain changes? Now, when we come to the main content, what you have to do, this theory of historical materialism, it is basically trying to divide the society into four stages. And what are these four stages? The first stage, the society has been divided when there is no surplus. This society is called to be as primitive communism. There is going to be an absence of surplus. The second society that is going to be established, this is ancient society. Here also they are going to be haves and have-nots. And who are the haves? Over here they are the masters. The have-nots are basically going to be the slaves. And then there will be a feudal society. The feuds are going to be considered as haves. The serfs or the agrarian slaves, they are considered. And then finally we are having a society which is called to be as industrialist capitalistic society. And who are the haves in these industrialist societies? The bourgeois, they are considered to be as haves. The proletariats, they will be considered to be as the have-nots. Now when we take a look, what are we trying to do over here? We are trying to discuss. This complete part is basically the discussion that we are trying to make of the theory and how does it explain the social changes. So to explain this phenomena, you must shift your paragraph and tell the concept of explanation is basically according to Marx on the basis of economic determinism. He was regarded to be as an economic determinist. And he says the changes are basically coming from one stage to an another stage on the basis of economic factors. Because at first, when you take a look, the society was established on the basis of, one minute. The society was established on the basis of animal husbandry. They used to go and hunt the animals, and then that is how they are able to provide the foods. From animal husbandry, the society has moved towards agriculture. So we are trying to explain the social changes. Social changes are coming on the basis of economic factors. And when we take a look, the first society that has been established, see, the first society that has been established, it is on the basis of animal huntings. The second society is on the basis of feudal agriculture, and then that is on the basis of factory system setup, factory system. So here we are having industrial society. So social changes are coming from one stage to another on the basis of economic factors. So here when we take a look, Karl Marx has tried to provide the foundational explanation at once he is trying to explain the stages, and the next he is trying to explain the economic determinism. So here Karl Marx has tried to establish itself as an economic sociologist. Although he is not called as a sociologist, this statement would be considered to be little critical. It is debatable, but on the basis of economic factors, he is trying to explain how the society moves. In a way, a better way to describe him, he was a revolutionary philosopher in which he was trying to explain all the different stages which are there. These stages are coming on the basis of economic factors. In a very unique manner, he has tried to explain the concept of social changes which are present. So this is going to be a detailed answer in which we provide an introduction by giving the definition of historical materialism, and in the discussion part what we are having, in the discussion part we have explained the four stages that we are having. How does he explain the social changes? The second part, he explains the social changes on economic determinism 1, 2, 3, and then in the conclusion we are trying to write that he is an economic sociologist, a revolutionary philosopher, explaining the four stages that we are having, showing how economic factors are responsible. He has tried to explain the social change like not given as a form of by any other sociologist. So here Marxian perspective is considered to be as an important and a profound view in the case of sociology. So here you are going to write one paragraph. This will be in the form of a tabular column in two paragraphs. This will be present as one paragraph, and then finally you are going to write one paragraph. You must be able to reach 150 words explaining the word historical materialism. It is an inspiration coming from Hegel's ideal dialecticism. So Marx has provided a historical way of seeing how the society has got divided on materialistic terms. Now, going to the fourth question, explain Durkheim's theory of suicide. This is one of my personal favorite theories that I'm having, because I completely believe that nobody has explained the concept of suicide in such a sociological manner. Every time we try to see that suicide is an individual phenomenon. So, but Durkheim is trying to come and say, no, on the basis of collectivity, the suicide is going to be produced. So this question has been taken from Unit 4, Part B, the suicide. In your introduction, you are going to provide how suicide is being established. So here in a simple format, you are going to say suicide, it's a phenomena which is called to be as self-killing, or it can be called to be as a self-murder. And on it is called as self-killing, self-murder, and on this you are going to define the content and how he connects this. He connects this on the basis of individual and society. And if an individual is connected to the society, and if the society is connected to the individual on the basis of these four factors, there are different types of suicides. If the connectivity is weak, this is one type of suicide. If the connectivity is strong, this is another suicide. If the society is connected weak, this is another. If the society is too strong connected, four different types of suicides are being produced. First, when he is himself not well connected, the first type of suicide that we are having, this will be called to be as an egoistic form of suicide. If the connectivity is too strong, this will be called to be as an altruistic form of suicide. And if the society is not well connected, this will be conditioned to be as an anomie suicide. On the another, we are having fatalistic suicide. You need to give examples that how the people who were present in Europe, they were committing more number of suicides on the basis of atheism or on the basis of disconnectivity from the religion. They are called as Protestant suicides. If there is a person who is committing a suicide by putting suicide bombers, etc., or the people with fanatic religious ideologies, they are categorized as altruistic suicides. If there is a bonded labor, sorry, if there is an unemployed labor who is committing, or I can say that he is just a laborer, or I can say that this person is an unemployed individual. Whenever there is an economic boon or economic bane, anomie suicides are going to be produced. And if there is a slave who is committing, this will be called to be as slave forms of suicide. So here explain Durkheim's theory of suicide. This particular is what are the main types, that how suicides are being created and what are the primary causes that we are having. So here, before we bring in what are the primary causes, we get to see the primary causes are the social factors. It is basically too much or too little or too much of the different bonds and the cohesion that has been created on the basis of altered social collectivity. We get to see different suicides are being produced. So in the conclusion, you are going to speak about the causes, and then after speaking about the causes, you are going to say Durkheim has been considered as an individualist. He has completely ignored individualism, and rather he has tried to provide the theory on the basis of collectivism, on the basis of group ideology, and here he is considered largely to be called as a collective sociologist, a functionalist sociologist, and he has highlighted a theory of suicide on the basis of sociological factors. So what is this? So first, you have provided an explanation. What is the meaning of suicide? This is a popular theory that has been given by Emile Durkheim in the later part, in the end of 19th century. Then you must give the content. Here, it's telling explain the theory. Here we have provided an explanations. One, two, three, four explanations. What are the different types? These are the different types, such as a Protestant suicide bomber, or an unemployed individual, or a Dalit slave, etc., they are committing. What are the causes? Social factors are the causes, with decrease or increase of social bonds and cohesions. And then in the conclusion, you are going to say it is not an individual phenomenon, but rather it is on the basis of collectivism, groups, etc. So that's it in our today's class. We have tried to explain uh, we have tried to understand uh, our second question paper. I'm going to provide you the model answers for all these questions. The syllabus was covering thinkers Karl Marx, Durkheim, and Weber. I want you to write all these, and then I want you to go and check out these live discussions that we are having. I will also want you to look at the model answers on the basis of which this test series, this free test series has been designed for you to score well. It has been designed for you to get a good idea of how to address these answers. I wish you all the best for all those students who are writing the mains examination, and for those students who are going to appear next year. I want you to do a very religious and a meticulous practice. I will see you in the live session in the next week at same 11 o'clock in the morning, trying to cover the week 3 or the third question paper. All the best. Have a nice time.